Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lynett and the tourism channel where I talk about tourism, travel, all those amazing things. So in our midst we have Mr. Marcus with us. He's an African American who recently moved back to Uganda, and I was curious, to know what he has to think or has to say about the tourism industry in Uganda, where he has traveled, what he thinks about the cultures in Uganda, what he thinks about the Baganda culture, if he knows any other cultures, what does he think about them, what does he think about the culture foods. So if it's the first time in my channel, don't forget to subscribe over there, hit me up in the comment section, let me know what you think about this content. Otherwise, let's dive right in. Hi Marcus.
How are you?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm good.
So I don't really know where to start. Tell our viewers more about yourself.
So my name actually is King Obutunda. I have my own YouTube channel under King Obutunda, or you can find me on Instagram as well at King Obutunda as well. I am a Black American. Moved here to Uganda. I've been here for about 3 years now. Started my YouTube channel, my YouTube business here in Uganda. So I focus mostly on information about Uganda, but eventually I'm going to start spreading information about all different countries of Africa. But as of right now, I'm focusing only on Uganda because this is my hometown.
Yeah, just to stop you right there very fast. Why King of Butunda? By the way, yeah, his YouTube channel is amazing. That's why I first followed him. Sorry, I didn't say that. But yeah, I'm going to put the link in the description box where you can follow him and all those amazing things. Why King of Butunda?
Well, the story is actually pretty boring, but I just really like passion fruit juice. Like we don't have that in my country at all. At least I've never had it before. So when I came out here, that's pretty much what I was drinking like every single day, and I was eating Rolex every day, stuff like that. So it's like I didn't really think about it. I just picked it because it was like it's something that I really enjoy. Basically, I drink pretty much passion like every day. I think I make it fresh every day.
Oh, up to now, yeah. Up to date. Interesting. You see, those are, I think, the small things that we have as Ugandans that we don't embrace so much. I mean, passion fruits, Butunda, they're just all over the place, Yes, so tell me how your travel within Uganda has been, your experience so far.
So it's been actually a bit tricky. Sometimes I've had good experiences, and many times I've had very bad experiences that's actually put me off from traveling to other places, but I still try to remain positive, and I still try to tour the country as much as I can, but there are a lot of places I'm not going to go, or I won't actually use those services because of like the charges or things of that nature. So traveling can be easy or it can be very tricky for a foreigner, basically.
In Uganda? Okay. That's interesting. I'll talk more with him, maybe on another level, and see how we can ease your travel around Uganda. Maybe with information, with contacts, and all those beautiful things. So, though travel in Uganda has been a bit tricky for you for the past 3 years that you've been here, which are some of the places that you've been successfully to and loved, and why?
So one place that I travel to most often, a lot of people hear me say this, my second home is Kampala. I don't really feel like that's a place like I travel to or that's a vacation place or something of that nature. One thing I will say is that when I originally came to Africa, I didn't come here with the idea that I'm going to go on a safari or anything like that, because most of what I knew about Africa in the West was a lot of negative information. And when I found out that there's so much more to Africa than safaris, I wanted to explore those other things as well. So going on one of those type of tours wasn't really a priority to me at all. And then on top of that, I saw that as a foreigner, you get charged a higher price than you would as a resident or East African resident or something of that nature, or a student. Exactly. Yeah. So there are different prices for each one, and then when you book with a tour company, sometimes if they're including in these packages, they have to also include in these prices as well. So it's like they have to make their money, and the safari, the park itself has to make their money. You get what I'm saying? So it's like it can be difficult for me. So I think my best option would probably be like a group travel, something of that nature. But I kind of do everything solo. So when I find a group that I'm comfortable traveling with, then I'll probably go ahead and do that. But as of right now, for my content creation, I just do everything solo. And Kampala is like one of the places that I travel to often because Lake Nyoni is a place I spend the most time at when I first came to Uganda.
Yeah. I find Lake Nyoni very beautiful. I think it's one of the most beautiful places. I think even the hills and the weather that side.
I like the exercise.
The exercise?
Yeah.
Oh, so you go up the hills and everything?
Oh yeah. I mean, you don't have a choice really. Kabale is different than here in Kampala and Central. Like the hills in Central are kind of spread out, but in Kabale the hills are a little bit closer. So it's like once you get out of Kabale town and you're going to Lake Nyoni, you're going up one hill, going back down another just to go back up another. So it's like most people where they live on a hill.
Yes.
Everything is basically on a hill.
Yes.
Have you ever been to Cancini's place, the backpacker's place?
Yeah.
It's on a hill.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's on the lower part of the hill, but when you cross over, you gotta walk up just a little bit and it's there. And like I said, just mostly around that area is just hills everywhere. So every time I go out there, I end up losing weight, like end up getting really physically fit and everything because it's a lot of exercise when you go out there.
Wow, interesting. There is a club I think you would love to join, but we shall talk about that later on. So you've talked about the challenges you faced traveling around Uganda. Did you have those when you traveled around other African countries? Was it the same challenge that you faced?
When I was in Kenya, yes, it's the same thing. When I went to this is a national park in Nairobi, I went to, and we just so happened to catch them on a good day, and it was like I guess it was the low season tourism, so I was able to convince them that we're Africans, and they basically gave us like the local price, but they originally was going to give us the foreigners price, and the foreigners price was like $100 per person. Just to go in there on a low season. I'm like, I didn't want to do that because you're not going to see no animals. You're not really going to get the best experience of this national park. So I was glad that we actually were able to catch them when we did, but unfortunately I didn't get to do a lot of things in Kenya when I was there, so I don't want to speak too much on that part. But when I go back to Kenya, I do have plans to actually do a whole lot more touring. I have people who are going to take me around. There's an area I'm going to go to. It's called Laikipia, something of that nature. So people are going to take me around those areas, things like that.
Okay. For someone who has been in Uganda for 3 years, do you have some hacks and tricks for maybe other African Americans who want to come to Uganda or Africa in general?
Yeah, so I covered most of it on my own YouTube channel. I try to do videos on that, so that's actually what I do. I specialize in that kind of information content so that other people who come from abroad come here with a general idea of what they can do or how to move around. Because when I first came here, I knew nothing. There's really nobody who was doing YouTube, who was spreading any kind of information to teach people what to do, how to walk, how to talk, how to move around, how to get food, things like that. You know what I'm saying? So I try to put that information out there now, and I've gone through a whole lot of problems just so I can be able to get all that information and put it on my channel, basically.
Wow.
But yes, I have a lot of tips, tricks, and hacks and all that stuff.
So people should just check out your channel, King Obutunda.
Yes, indeed. One thing I will tell you now on your channel is people should try to learn a little bit of the local language. One of the popular languages here is Luganda. So if you learn a little bit of Luganda, it'll definitely help you. Like you'll go far here. Because if you don't, you're going to have a lot of problems because language barriers can be an issue. Even though it's an English-speaking country, you're definitely going to want to learn a little bit of Luganda so you can get your point across better.
Interesting. Tell us about the cultures. What do you know about the cultures in Uganda? Because Uganda is a multicultural country. We have over 56 tribes, and that must be crazy for a foreigner. When you go to Kampala, which is second home, then they're speaking a different language, and when you come to Kampala, which is the capital, it's a different language, and Entebbe,
Well, it's not so strange for me because growing up where I'm from, my family, we have Native American in my family as well, and our history, Native American tribes, each tribe has their own language as well over there. So it's not that much different. It's just that African tribes, Uganda is a smaller country compared to the U.S. So to have that many tribes in this small of a country is more significant, or not significant, but it was different learning that versus, in the West, because a lot of tribes in the West, native tribes have been wiped completely out due to white supremacy and other things that happened. So a lot of that stuff, there's a lot of tribes we don't really know about, and a lot of tribes that are more popular than others, basically. So it's not, that much different. It's just learning about African culture or my other ancestral culture, it's more special to me, basically.
Oh.
You understand?
So you have a tribe you're from in the US?
So in my family, if I'm not mistaken, we have Native Cherokee Indians in our family, our bloodline, basically. So some of my family members can trace their roots to natives that were already in America before, slave trade and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then some of my family actually came in through the slave trade. So we have roots that are there and roots that came, basically.
Wow. Why did you decide to settle in Uganda? I'm sure that has been asked you very many times.
Yeah. It was a few reasons, but to boil it down, it was like cost of living and ease of access. Because I was trying to find an African country I could settle in. Because I'm not a rich person. I don't come from money. My family, we don't come from money or anything like that. So we work for everything that we have. And I basically had a small budget, not a whole lot of money or anything like that. And I needed to find a place where I can settle and maintain for a specific amount of time without having to keep going back to America, work, make money, save, and then come back out here. You get what I'm saying? So when I stayed in Kenya for the few days that we stayed there, we realized very quickly that the exchange rate in Kenya is basically the same as how it is in America, and you're not going to save any money at all. So, at least I wasn't going to save any money because I didn't know anything about Nairobi or how to move around Kenya or anything like that. So coming to Uganda, we originally weren't supposed to stay here as long as we did, but it was so cheap and it's beautiful here. So many good things about this country. I ended up staying. I was part of a group when I first came here, and then the other group members ended up leaving, but I ended up staying.
Wow. Which are some of those tiny things that you find us Ugandans don't embrace, and yet you see it's something so amazing? Like you talked about the weather, how beautiful it is out here. Which are some of the things that we should maybe take for granted, yet are very amazing, in your opinion?
So reason why I like Kabale so much is because Kabale town has a lot of natural beauty. The one thing that bothers me the most is the fact that it's so underrepresented throughout the country. And it's not just Kabale, but a lot of areas where they have crater lakes and things of that nature. There's a lot of places in Uganda where there's a lot of underrepresentation because people are either not traveling there, or when people do travel there, they don't film, record, or put the content out there for other people to see. So whenever I go to Kabale, it blows my mind how beautiful that place is, but it's like an undiscovered gem sometimes. I see a lot of Muslims who go out there, people from Germany, Israelis, and things like that who come out there. But for the most part, you don't really see a whole lot of other Africans, like Ugandans from other regions, coming to those places, things like that. And then only way I even knew about Kabale was through other people. I would have never even came out there if it wasn't for certain people that I had known before. So I think that Uganda definitely has a huge area of improvement when it comes to showcasing the natural beauty of Uganda. Everybody knows that Uganda is one of the most beautiful, naturally beautiful countries around. But the problem is, like you said, marketing. We need more people to go out there and actually show just how beautiful it is. Because most people just go to Jinja. They see the source of the Nile, or they go to Entebbe, see, Entebbe, the zoo, things like that, the botanical gardens, and that's it. Or they go to Fort Portal, or they go up north, you get what I'm saying? But what about everything in between? All the western region, there's other places in the western region, Kisoro, things like that. So there's a lot of other places that can be, shown throughout Uganda. It's just a matter of marketing it, basically, and advertising.
How have you found the food in Uganda? Which is your best food?
My best food it's actually not a Ugandan dish, but pilau. I really like pilau a lot. But
pilau, I think it's the Swahili.
It's more Arab than anything because I actually discovered it in Afghanistan. Like people in Afghanistan, Pakistan, Iraq, things like that, they eat that stuff there too. But in particular, I've had many different types of cuisines here. What I will say is this about Ugandan cuisine.
Yeah.
There's still a huge area of improvement when it comes to cuisine. Yes, you guys have cuisine here, and I've tried it. But I feel like there's so much more that you guys can improve in. Like, for example, I've already had your poshun beans. I've had the Katogo cassava beans. I've had Matoke beans. I've had your Luombo. I had the street food, Machomo, Rolex, Chicken Mando, things like that. What else have I had? I had G-nuts with different things. So I've tried many different assortment of dishes, but unfortunately, there aren't that many to try from. So that's what I mean. Like, there's a huge area of improvement when it comes to culinary arts here in Uganda, and that actually it's upcoming now. And when 3 years ago when I first came here, that was something I was looking for. I was trying to find people, like different chefs around who can show, like, okay, this is the Ugandan food that we have, and this is what we're trying to bring to the Ugandan market, basically. And there are a few out here that are doing it, but unfortunately, a lot of local Ugandan people don't really embrace it too much. They're fine with eating their machoma or something of that nature, or they eat their matoke with whatever every night. And it's not that it's a big deal or anything like that, but it's like, when I first came here, I honestly thought that it would be a huge, extravagant cuisine of Ugandan foods, and I was kind of disappointed on that. So hopefully in the future, we'll start to see more chefs start getting into the culinary arts here in Uganda and start actually introducing different styles and techniques of African foods and cuisines here in Uganda, basically. Because you can go to different places like West Africa and you see like all these different styles of different cuisines is all mixtures because of all the different tribes and things like that. But here in Uganda, I've noticed that each tribe, you guys have your specialized dish, but for the most part, y'all eat the same things. Like, I can go to the north and get poached with beans.
Yes,
I can go to Entebbe, you get what I'm saying?
Yes.
But it's like, in some areas, in other African countries, it'll be a bit different. You can go to certain northern regions and get a completely, totally different cuisine. You get what I'm saying? So here in Uganda, I know that it's gonna come. It's just right now, it's a little bit slow with those things, but that area is going to improve soon, hopefully.
So culinary tourism in Uganda still leaves a lot to be desired. Interesting.
It's a huge area of improvement. I mean, that's anywhere, but hopefully here in Uganda, that's one thing that people are going to start to embrace more. Okay. I can't eat matoke every single night. I don't see how you guys do it.
People love matoke.
Oh my goodness.
But then they love matoke so much.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I like matoke. I eat a lot. But every night, matoke and soup? Come on now. Gotta switch it up a little bit. Maybe
a mixture. Have you seen the kalo? Have you seen eshabwe? Yes. Have you seen bo, marakwa?
You know what's funny? I don't actually like eshabwe. I've had that twice already. That's what I call an acquired taste. It's definitely an acquired taste.
And they have malewa. I don't think yet.
I don't have malewa yet. That's one I think. There's a few I haven't had yet. Because there's some other tribal regions that I haven't been to yet to try their version of food. But I've been around. I've experienced a few things.
Wow. You should try the north as well. They have bo and marakwa. But it's still, I think what you have said, it's still almost the same thing, just played around a little. Because in the north still, in the north that's where we get a lot of shea butter. And we have a lot of simsim and peanut butter. So the north is the home of peanut butter. So everything they cook in the north, most of it has peanut butter in it.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, that's something you can check out.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think that's all we had.
That's it?
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you very much, King Obutunda.
Thank you.
Right? It's King Obutunda or King Obutunda.
Obutunda.
King Obutunda. Thank you very much, King Obutunda, for coming to my channel. Thank you for sharing your thoughts in the tourism industry, and it was very interesting as you said, challenges they're facing in traveling around. These are things that I personally, a tourism person, look to address for people who are planning to travel to Uganda and people who are already in the country. How do you travel more? How do you get easy access to information and all that? So I'll share more information about that maybe in my other videos. Maybe some of my videos might be answering some of those questions, but maybe not.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Don't forget to follow King Obutunda on his YouTube channel, where he talks about the hacks for the people who are planning to travel to Africa, his travel experience, how everything has been since he has been to Uganda. Yeah. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel too. And till next time, bye.
Peace.
Thank you.
No problem.